What does January 2021 have in store for you? I have 3 piles here. This is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Take some time to pick your pile and let's go. Alright, pile number 1. Let's zoom you in here. Let's see what your tarot cards have to offer first. We have the Empress, the World, Justice, 8 of Cups reversed. Okay guys, what I'm seeing for you right off the bat is there's a lot of change coming into your life. So January 2021 really marks a shift. There's something new coming into your life. There's the ending of whatever, the ending of 2020, let's be honest. But it's almost like you have been working very, very hard towards something, and it's really going to pay off in January. There's also a new opportunity here with the Empress. For some of you, it may apply, but this could mean pregnancy or a child. With the Justice card here, we see it's about balance and like cause and effect. So it's likely that this new opportunity is the result of you working very hard, and you've earned whatever this new opportunity is. You've earned it very clearly. Some of you have been applying for jobs. There's very much a large change. Like I said in the beginning, there's a large change with this World card. It can be kind of like the ending of a cycle, but it can also be a pause before something big happens. So it's kind of like the wonderful feeling of enjoying the things that you have already done before you start a new cycle. There's a lot of fulfillment with this card as well. With the 8 of Cups reversed, I see there might be some indecision or hesitation towards this. But it also could be, for some of you, whatever this new opportunity is, whatever this cause and effect sort of thing is, you've tried it before and it hasn't been successful. For some of you, this is romance. This is getting back together with an ex. But it's trying one more time. It's hoping for a better outcome. And with all of these other cards, I think that for those of you who this really applies to, this being like a second chance, one more time sort of a thing, with all these other cards, it does seem like it will be successful. For some of you too, it looks like there might be some kind of boredom or like nothingness, like nothing's really happening or hasn't been happening. But let's get a look at some more of your cards. These cards are the why these things are happening. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so these things are happening for you because you're finally enjoying the power that you have, the power that you've been working so hard on, that self-confidence, that belief in yourself. There's a lot of inner strength with this card. There's a lot of, you've been working so hard at becoming the person that you want to, that this is really manifesting that. Like it's you coming into yourself. And we have the World card again. So same sort of thing. It's enjoying, you're sort of enjoying what you've been working so hard towards. And with the Magician, you've been very resourceful. So a lot of this could also be maybe money stuff. Maybe some of you are moving, and you've been saving a lot of money for this time, and it's going to pay off very well because you have been very aware and very careful. You're very, very, very determined. Very determined, very strong. So essentially, just to sum these up for why these things are happening for you in January, it's because you're finally, like, you have come so far. You are these things now. You're the magician. You are the ruler of your own life. You know how to take things into your own hands, and you've completed a cycle of stuff that, may not have been awesome. And you're ready for the next big thing. You're ready for the next cycle. You're ready for that achievement, that fulfillment, because you've already kind of gotten there in regards to yourself. And you have been so triumphant over the challenges that have been given to you thus far. So you're ready for the next thing. For some of you too, this card can sort of go with the idea of getting over an illness, getting over a sickness. Now let's look at some advice cards for how to make the most of January 2021. We have the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Wands. So for you guys, in January 2021, you might want to be cautioned. You might want to be cautioned against betrayal and any sort of deceit and people being sneaky around you. However, I think the biggest message out of this card, or the biggest bit of advice from this card, is learning to act with purpose, making sure that your moves are purposeful. And for the Queen of Wands here, we have the advice of being independent, being a boss-ass bitch, And again, being determined like you already are, but keeping that energy going. So don't take this as a sign to be like, oh, cool, so I can just like chill out now. Like that's not it. You have to continue going with the same passion that you have, the same confidence. And for more advice cards here, we have that project, that person, that idea is waiting. Get after that shit. The world has your back. Yeah, so it's the same thing with these. This new opportunity is waiting for you, and it's something that is meant for you. The world has your back. Go after it. It might be a little bit scary. Some of you might be a little wary, but it's definitely worth a shot. If you've been waiting for a sign to go after it, take this as your sign. Unnecessary worries. Release the burden of worries by giving them to God for healing and solutions. And spiritual or religious community. Join with like-minded people for friendship and increase spiritual growth. So some of you, this might be, so for some of you, this might be joining a church, joining a community on Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, I don't know, what have you. Or just in general, starting to be more involved with the spiritual community, either near you or just kind of alone, kind of dipping your feet in, because you will find a lot of growth and a lot of learning from the people around you. And with unnecessary worries, just try your hardest to trust in yourself, because you're a boss-ass bitch and you can do it. And I know sometimes when we're doing so well, and then all of a sudden, like, where everything is going up for us in life, we tend to kind of check behind us and like, can I really do it? Yes, you can. You absolutely can. You don't have to worry about that. And for some of you, it might be really helpful to essentially release your worries. That's something that I've been in the practice of doing lately, and it's been really helpful, of just essentially giving them to the universe, because everything is energy. So giving my worries, my fears to the universe, and asking for them to come back to me in a different form, in a better form, in a lighter form, in positive energy. You can also visualize that, sort of visualize taking out these worries and turning them into something bright, something beautiful, something helpful. So really, for you guys in January 2021, You've done so much growing, and you're just going to continue to grow, and there's new opportunities on the way for you. Whatever this is bound to be successful. And if I get this up before the 21st, hopefully I do, if I get this up before the 21st, hopefully I do, whatever this is, you guys should really take advantage of the 21st. I know probably everybody's saying that. This will focus. Hello? Hello? Okay, whatever this is, use the energy of the 21st if you can. If you can't, that energy is gonna linger for a while, so you'll be good. But this would be a perfect time to sort of take initiative on this, whatever this project is, because it's certainly likely to be successful just in general, but especially using that energy, it will just help to boost it and propel it forward. And that's what I have for you guys, pile number 1. Thank you for watching. All right, pile number 2. Let's see what's happening for you in January 2021. Let's start with your tarot cards first. We have 10 of Coins, 7 of Wands, 8 of Swords, 5 of Cups, and Ace of Wands. So for you guys, I do see that there's financial gain, there's material wealth or material possessions. This could also be some of you are finding long-term success in January 2021. There's also a lot of stability with this card. You don't really have to worry about money. With the 7 of Wands cards, it's kind of competition, I would say, but it feels more like friendly competition. So this could be something in the workplace. It's a new thing. It's a new mountain to climb. It's a new challenge for you. And it's going to teach you a lot of lessons, not in like a hard way, but just in general. It's challenging you to do something that you might not have done before. With this 8 of Swords, it looks like there might be some limiting self-beliefs, some self-doubt, but it's very much something that is in your own mind, so there's nothing necessarily. It could be sort of brought on by external factors, but it's really you that is keeping yourself in this place. It's this negativity, and there's nothing wrong with that, but just know that if you feel down, if you feel very negative, a lot of it has to do with your outlook and how you are choosing to perceive a situation. So it would be very helpful for you to try and minimize how much you let yourself dwell on negative thoughts. For some of you, if there's a situation you're in where you're not happy and you're like, oh, I can't get out of this, there's very likely a way that you can, but sometimes it's easier to be in this position than to fight our way out. And even with this card, I think it's interesting because you can kind of see a little bit of what I'm talking about. If I can get it to focus. Let me put my sleeve. If I can get it to focus. The whole point of this card is like it's self-created. Imprisonment is a hard word to use, but it's like you tied the blindfold on yourself, if that makes sense, because she's not trapped. She's not trapped, but she's like putting her head in the center of the swords. She's not trapped. She can get out, but she would rather be in this place because she doesn't know what else to do. And I think that we'll find some advice for how to get out of this, because it's absolutely like so many people go through this so often. You just really have to maybe do some overhaul of your thoughts, of your beliefs, and go through and see what's no longer working for you, what is no longer serving you best. And now we have the Five of Cups right here. This really talks about pessimism, so I think that kind of ties in with this card very much. It's also a lot of regret because, as you can see with this card, this dude is very focused on these 3 spilt cups that he won't even look at the 2 that he still has. And these are perfectly good cups. There's perfectly good things, but he would rather focus on this. It's sort of like you kind of have to take your losses. Like, you can't focus on the things that didn't work out because that isn't going to make anything in the future work out. You have to look forward, you have to look ahead and look for good things. So something that I think you guys are going to be learning a lot in January, just in general looking at this, is learning how to have optimism in a time where it's so easy to be pessimistic. So let's move on to the Ace of Wands. So with the Ace of Wands, it really does look like maybe towards the end of January, you're going to have this spark of creativity and newness. There's also a lot of growth coming from these 2. These are not here for no reason. They're here to teach you how to move forward, and you're going to get to this. This is a very motivating card as well, so there could be a lot of new passion, new, like, almost lust for life, kind of. And this card, you can really take it as sort of it's a good sign when there's something that you are thinking about wanting to do. This is a good sign because it sort of pushes you in that direction to make your move, to start it. It's the kind of energy burst that you need to start, to begin. Now let's get into the why these things are happening for you. We have the Lovers and the Seven of Cups. So starting with the Seven of Cups, this is a lot about choices and wishful thinking. So it could be that you're part of this, I think you're in this space because there's a lot of choices that you've made. And I don't mean that in like a good way or necessarily a bad way either. It's just kind of, you have made choices and now you are dealing with the things that come with them. Some of them are amazing, some of them are hard to deal with. There's also a bit of illusion, and I think that this comes from these 2 cards here. Illusion, the illusion of, self-doubt, these things that you have in your mind that aren't true, because you are very clearly amazing, but there's like a cloud over your head almost, and it's getting to you. It's an illusion. It's not real. Your feelings are real, but a lot of you are having, very negative thoughts about yourself, and it's not true, and you have to be able to recognize that these, like, it is your brain. It is your brain. It's not you. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are doing the best that you can, and that's what matters. And then moving on to the Lovers. The Lovers in this sense I don't think is romantic. I think it's talking more about one of the other aspects of the card, which is sort of making choices, which again ties into this card, and also commitment. You're going to be learning a lot about commitment, and I think that that's sort of the reason that there are these sort of things that are coming for you, since this is what is happening and this is why. I think that there really is a lot of there's a lot of choices that you've made, and there's a lot of commitment that you're going to have to learn to live with your choices and to make your choices well. And so far you have. Like, there's nothing terrible about this. I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit hard on you guys almost, but like, none of the choices that you've made are bad. They are just choices, and you have to learn, like with this card, like, none of these choices are wrong. You have to deal with the consequences of what's in the cup, for better or for worse. Picking a cup that has a pile of gold versus a cup that has snakes. Like, neither choice was wrong, but you have to do what you can with what's in the cup. Now, moving on to advice for you guys. We have Six of Wands and the Ace of Wands, guys. The Six of Wands is one of my favorite cards. It's a lot about confidence, like personal confidence, and it's a lot about other people recognizing what you've worked so hard on. So in a job, again, because we do have this Ten of Coins, which is very much like financial wealth and good fortune, but there's people that are finally starting to notice what you have been working so hard at. For those of you in school, this could be finally getting recognition in a class that you have been trying your hardest in, that you're really, really interested in. For some of you, this is artwork, this is social media, this is for those of you with YouTube channels, for those of you with Instagrams, that kind of stuff. Like, people are starting to take notice. A lot of you with a lot of you with businesses. Small businesses, there we go. A lot of you with small businesses, okay, I'm gonna say it because for some reason with the personal thing, it was just, a lot of you have OnlyFans. Not a lot of you. Some of you have OnlyFans. Starting to take off, my friends. That has to be like the most niche message. Oh my god. Whoever has OnlyFans, good things are starting to happen. There's public recognition, and there's a lot of like growth on your part. And it's not just growth like internally, it's also growth like you're figuring out how to do things more efficiently and better because you have this confidence. And then back here to the Ace of Wands, which you have twice, which means, dear God, the message is strong. Again, the growth, the inspiration, the drive. You have this, and you have had this, and finally it's really coming to fruition. It really is popping up into your life because you've been interested in this. Whatever it is, you've been interested. A lot of you too, this is happening for you because you've started to be more aligned with your higher self and your life path and all that kind of stuff. So it's sort of all coming together now. So let's move on to the next advice card. We have, it's dark and you can't see a fucking thing. Get your head out of your ass pronto. Again, with these, I'm not going to harp on it more, but it really is like, get your head out of your ass because you're perfect. You're doing so well. You are doing so well. And it almost hurts to like even think that you guys are going through this because there's so many good things, so many great things happening to you and around you, but you have to feel them because they're happening for you. Like, they're happening for you. It's not a passive thing. You're not like a bystander in this. This is your life and it's happening because of you. And then the last card, we have spiritual protection. You're being watched over and protected physically, emotionally, and energetically. So again, for those of you who have been getting more in tune with your higher self and more on the spiritual path, like, you're starting to notice, some of you, okay, two messages here. Some of you are really starting to notice that your guides are giving you signs, messages, stuff like that, and you're noticing that, like, you can feel that protection, you can feel that presence, and you know that you are safe. And for some of you, the other side of this message is that some of you need to learn to pay attention to your guides because they're like they're mad, not in like a scary way, just in like a, dear God, I've been trying everything to get you to listen to me. Why won't you listen to me? Like, they are doing things that they think are obvious and you're just not picking up on them. And again, because to them, signs can literally mean nothing to us. So something like, I don't know, say Say you find a rock in your driveway, and they're like, see, I put that rock there for you, so you would know it's me. And you're like, it's a rock in my driveway. Like, what? How is that supposed to mean jack shit? But again, their methods of communication can be a little bit hard to pick up on for us. So, for those of you who that applies, try and be a little bit more specific. Like, show me 3 times today, show me repeating numbers on the clock. Stuff like that. Because it really does help. So just to kind of give you just to kind of put this all into a nicer bow, I guess, the things that are coming for you in January is a lot of growth, a lot of self-growth, a lot of learning to not necessarily like take away these thoughts, but learning how to deal with them and turn them into something more productive, and learning how to recognize when these things are happening and when they are a hindrance to your life, and learning how to pull your head out of your ass. And there's also some new things. There's newness, new path, new like a picking up of speed. There's wealth coming for you, which, yes, very good. There's challenge, there's creativity, there's passion. It's very lovely, and there's recognition. It's very lovely. I hope this message resonates with you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, pile number 3. Let's start off with your tarot cards. See what's happening for you in January 2021. 3 of Coins, Queen of Swords reversed, the Sun, and Temperance. Beautiful. So with the 3 of Coins first, I want to point out that there is collaboration. That's what this card is. It's working with people. And there's also a lot of learning that comes with this card from being in an environment with other people. So there's a lot that you have available to you to learn from the people around you. This can also be a message to some of you who are maybe a bit stuck. For some of you, maybe writing papers or something, asking for help, asking for another set of eyes would be really, really helpful for you. This card is really cool because it talks about like a lot of different knowledge coming together and creating this amazing energy of collaboration. I keep saying that, but that's really what it is. It's like collaboration. It's knowledge that you might not have on your own, because the power of many is way, 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 way better than just one. And you kind of, from this, you can learn a little bit more and create a more unique path, something that resonates more with you, because everybody has something to offer in whatever situation this is. And then moving on to the Queen of Swords. This is kind of interesting. For some of you, this is a person. Yeah, for some of you, this is a person. Not the nicest person. Kind of a bitch. Not gonna lie. But for some of you also, this is talking about you. That maybe in January, there's a chance that your emotions might get the best of you, and you might come off a little bit cold and mean. And it's important to sort of check yourself before you wreck yourself, basically. And it's also, this card in reverse can talk about being easily swayed. So other people in your life kind of pushing you around and making you think things that you wouldn't necessarily on your own. So being easily influenced. And this could be peer pressure, or this could just be in general, you're around toxic people and you sort of adopt that, because it really is, in a way, a survival mechanism that when you're around people, you tend to try and fit in so that you don't get, like, eaten alive. You need to assert your that sounds bad. You need to assert your dominance, not in a creepy way. Just kind of like stay strong and stand strong in who you are, what you value, especially around others. And you really can't be so, it's good to be aware of other people's emotions, but when it starts to become a detriment to you, then that's when you really need to step up and speak up for yourself. You just need to be a little bit more there, you know? And now moving on to the Sun card. This is really, really nice. It's very beautiful. I love it. So when this card shows up, especially in this context for what is happening for you in January 2021, it really talks about sort of your life path is being illuminated. So everything is sort of coming together and moving you towards your life path. Moving you towards what you're meant to do and moving you towards essentially fulfillment and joy. For those of you who are married, this is a very good sign as well. Some of you also, this might be a time that you get engaged as well. But it is a lot of success, and I think these two, you'll find a lot of success in this. So moving on to Temperance. This card is a lot about not overdoing it. It's balance. It's also learning to stay composed. And I think that that goes very well with this. Learning to stay composed in situations where you might feel it would be easier to be very sharp or very emotional and very responsive when maybe the situation calls for something a little bit more level-headed. So for those of you who like to play devil's advocate, January really isn't the time to argue for the sake of arguing, you know? Like, again, very much be assertive in what you believe, but it's not the time to be abrasive just to get a reaction out of people. It really isn't. Because you're finding balance and you're finding happiness, and you want that to be what it is. You want to enjoy that. And you'll find more of that by learning to be a little bit more safe. There's also a lot of long-term vision with this card, like very much long-term outlook. So you're looking not just at the present, but also towards the future. And you're learning a lot more about who you are, for sure. And this card is also very spiritual, talking to your guides and stuff. So for those of you who that applies, maybe you've been trying for a while and haven't been able to, it will be coming for you in January, or there will be, for those of you who already connect with your guides and that kind of stuff, there will be important messages and things that you'll want to pay attention to in January. Now let's move on to the why. We have Knight of Pentacles reversed, King of Wands reversed, the High Priestess, and the Nine of Wands. So for the Knight of Pentacles here, there's sort of this, when this card is reversed, I tend to read it as sort of perfectionism. So as for why some of these things are happening, maybe especially with this card, having it be the card of collaboration, it can be hard to control what other people do, and that might be why this is being thrown at you. So you no longer have complete control over a project that you're working on. So you don't have the opportunity to be a perfectionist, because you're going to have other people that are contributing, other things that you're learning, so you can't do that. There's also a bit of boredom with this card in reverse, being a bit bored. So I think things are starting to pick up a little bit because you're feeling a bit bored. But you've also been very strong-willed recently. Very, what's the word for it? Like disciplined, very disciplined. And with the King of Wands, we have some impulsive behavior with this boy. And again, this card, thinking about it, playing with this one, talks about high expectations as well, and I think that ties into the perfectionism, that maybe you have very high standards for yourself, that now you're kind of having to deal with this balance that's coming into your life in January, having balance and having to deal with other people as well. There is a bit of arrogance as well, so I would just be mindful of that, because this is a Y, so I think these cards are kind of going to check you and put things into perspective. As for these cards that are coming into your life in January, these are kind of going to check you and make you realize maybe some of these behaviors that aren't so good, but it will also help you to recognize the behaviors that are good. And one more thing with this, just because I feel like somebody out there needs to know this, don't set your expectations for yourself so high that you are disappointed when you can't reach them. And I know that that's hard and that's kind of like harsh in a way as well, but it's kind of helpful to let yourself go at your own pace instead of thinking about what other people are doing. And because a lot of you are sort of reactive when it comes to setting goals, so you see people around you doing this good and you want to do this good. Like, set your own pace, let it be something true to you that isn't in response to the people around you. And then we have the High Priestess, which is intuition, and it's also a lot about the subconscious mind too. It's about mysteries. And this card for you, I think, talks a lot about sort of seeing things in a new perspective recently. Sort of teaching you to see things differently, see things in a way that maybe you haven't before. And also just teaching you the things that you already know, but putting them into perspective for you. Because everything that you need to know, you already know. So it's just, this card reminds you to really think about it, to really do your work, and to use your intuition when it comes to things that you are thinking about, because you already know these answers. And then moving on to the Nine of Wands. This is a card that is very much resilient. It's also about sort of, you can see with this guy too, like, come on, focus. Please? Hello? Oh my god, I'm gonna spend this whole time doing this. Okay, this is dumb. Okay, so you can see in the card, like, the guy is beat up. He's beat up, but he's still going. He's still going and he's doing well. So it's about sort of perseverance. It's about going hard, but then, it's about perseverance. This card also, it kind of, for me, it usually shows up when things aren't as favorable. So when things have been kind of hard, it shows up to remind you that, even if you're feeling bad, even if you feel like the world is just taking a shit on you and you're just kind of left out to die, like, it's there to remind you that you're still going, you're still here, and you're still fighting, and that you're overcoming any of these things that have been holding you back, any of these setbacks, because you've gotten through them. Yeah, you're a little bit battered, but you're here. you're here and you continue to push forward. And it's about sort of reminding you that you are strong even if you don't feel like it. So now all of these good things are coming to you because you have been fighting so hard. Stand strong in what it is that you believe in. Don't let other people sort of influence you. Don't let them influence you. But also learn how to be kind about it in a way. Because this card, like, you're easily swayed and there is sort of this, like, nastiness in a way, and I don't say that to, like, be mean to you guys, but, like, sometimes you get so caught up in what you want that you fail to sort of recognize how you're affecting other people. So stand strong in what you want, but you're learning how to do this diplomatically almost. You're learning how to do it with balance in your life, and that'll get you so much further. And now for advice. Oh my god, High Priestess again. Okay. That's a strong message there, friends. And the Knight of Wands. So what I can say for the High Priestess right now, especially, like, focus on your intuition, the things in the back of your mind, the things that you're immediately drawn to. Use your intuition because that is so helpful. That will be so helpful to you for all of January. 100%. Use your intuition, trust your intuition. And then we have the Knight of Wands as well. So a lot of energy. He's a very passionate card, very much like a go-getter in a way. There's a lot of like, woo, woo. This has a lot to do with sort of like a spark that changes your perspective, kind of. And it's about reconnecting with that sense of adventure that you have within yourself. So advice for you is sort of to remember what it is that kind of like gets you stoked. To be excited about any projects, any new things that are intriguing to you. Anything that sort of like hits that intuition. Anything that feels right, that feels good, but also things that just feel fun, that you want to do. Make sure that you do that. This is a great sign for that, because this is going to help you grow. And our next advice card, you look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Fact. Clean yourself up. So for this, it's a nice way of saying self-care. Self-care for sure, but then also like, oh my god, you look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Clean yourself up. You really have to take the time to consider these things about yourself. And this could also be a glow up for some of you. I just heard that for the few of you, this is like an actual physical glow up. I know a lot of you, one of you specifically, if you know, but wash your depression hoodie. Go wash it. Go wash it. It's gross. Go wash it. It's small things. It's small things. And I know that it can be overwhelming, especially, it just is. Times are weird, my dude. But that's not necessarily an excuse to not take care of yourself. And as I'm saying this, I am looking around my room that is covered, like, God, it's bad. It's bad. So I get it. And I'm saying this with love because I am in the same position as you. But like, clean your shit up. Do it. It sucks, but you really should. You really should. It will help you feel so much better. It will help alleviate some stress for you. It will be so good for you. And maybe a change of hair. Some of you, maybe a haircut. Dye your hair a different color. Do something fun, something that feels right to you. And our last card is wellness. The recovery of health and wellness. With this card specifically, can you see? Hello? That's good enough. With this card specifically, I was kind of picking it up with this card as well, but mental health is a really big thing for this pile, especially with like the perfectionism and that kind of stuff. I just think this is a good sign that's showing you that like things are starting to look up for you. This could be maybe finding a therapist, a psychiatrist, whatever you need, whatever it is, for some of you, because that is a message. And then for others, this is really just talking about like, okay, another great message just came in. Stick to your New Year's resolutions this year for real, because a lot of you put down like, I'm gonna go to the gym. Now's not really the time to go to the gym, but running or jogging and stuff like that, like keep up with it, because you're gonna feel so much better. And I hate exercise so much, but I never feel like I want to, and then I do it, and then it's over, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was cool. Like, I hated the process. I hated working out, but like, feels nice afterwards, you know? So for some of you, it will be really important in January to sort of start a routine of wellness and health and sort of being kinder to your body. And some of you need to be kinder to your mind. So, to sum it all up, good things are coming for you, and they're happening because you're ready. You're ready for this, and it's also going to teach you some lessons that will aid you in the rest of 2021. So, really trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. It came twice, guys. Trust your intuition. And have some exciting spark of adventure. Do something fun. Enjoy. That's all I have for you guys, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed.